my God, I almost died.
That was me the other day. We'll get into the sports section today. We got a fantastic show, and we're coming to you from the Storms Bros Junk Removal Studios. Can't wait to jump into the program, but I have to share this with you because it was one of those, I guess you could say, knucklehead moments of my life, okay? I'm helping coach our intermediate baseball team the other day, and I'm wearing shorts, okay? It was a nice day here in Colorado, wearing shorts, and hey, let's work on the pickle play. Hey, you kids be on defense, and us coaches will be the base runners. We'll take turns, being the base runners, and you got to get us out, okay? First time I did it, I did great. I stole second, okay? Didn't let up on the gas. I knew it was up. Second time, believe it was the second time, I slid. For some stupid fucking reason, I decided, hey, I'm not wearing shorts. Let's slide in essentially gravel or dirt, okay? Slide into second base, rip up the side of my right leg, get up. I'm like, oh, okay, it hurts, but it's not that bad. About a minute later, Coach Brandon is like looking at me going, oh my God. He didn't say it like that. But in my mind, he was very sad and scared for my well-being. But no, he's like, dude, you're bleeding. Then the kids all look at me in their minds. They're just saying, we got a bleeder! We got a bleeder! That's so funny, though, if somebody would have shouted that. I'd be like, what? It's not that bad. I swear to God, guys. Toughen up, okay? Oh, my God. Owie. Oh, man. I was so disappointed in myself. But it was a good reminder for the kids. Don't be dumb like Coach Scott, okay? Wear pants, baseball pants, to practice, okay? Because you never know when we're going to practice, sliding and whatnot. I was so mad at myself. What really pissed me off is going to bed that night. It's that like top layer of skin that I shaved off. It wasn't like a deep cut. The knee part, my knee has a, it where it bled was kind of deep, but the side, the biggest part is just a nice little trimming of the top layer of skin. Just enough to be stinging every time something touches it. So sleeping was a bitch. And then as soon as I got home, I tell my wife,
Oh my God, I almost died.
oh, what'd you do now? God damn. Classic Scott. Always getting hurt. Sorry. I'm sorry. You chose to live with me and marry me. This is just as much on you as it is me. Anyway, so yeah, almost died. Hey guys, we're broadcasting from the Storms Bros Junk Removal Studios. Go ahead, check them out at stormsbrothersjunk.com. Interact with the show any way you can. That's great if you could do that. It helps the show to grow if you're able to, at the very least, give it a like, a quick comment. Maybe it's a middle finger. Maybe it's, a pickle squirting. I don't know. I don't know why you would do that, you sicko. Anyway, any way you can interact with the show is great. Really do appreciate it. And remember, I was just telling you about Storms Bros Junk Removal. This show is also brought to you by Roof Goat USA. Check them out at roofgoatusa.com. But I think what we need to do now is stop talking about my incompetence, okay? Let's knock that nonsense off. Let's go ahead and jump into sports.
He's walked the hallowed grounds of Folsom Field, Coors Field, and Mile High Stadium.
He runs with the 50. He runs with the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes.
It's time for sports with DeHuff.
Well, if you guys were watching the World Baseball Classic, USA was taking on Dominican Republic, and the score is 2-1, USA up, and it's the bottom of the ninth, and here's the thing. ABS needs to be everywhere. I know they're doing it in Major League Baseball. World Baseball Classic next go around, you guys have to have ABS because this was such a horrific play. And what's funny is if you go to my social media accounts, whether it's YouTube or especially Facebook, those two platforms, everybody's given their 2 cents on this call. And what's fascinating, I would say the majority are leaning towards, yeah, absolutely terrible call. That was a ball, but they called it a strike 3. Okay. And USA wins. But there are some of you who are like, well, no, that was a good call. I mean, that was a strike, clear as day. I'm like, no, it's not. I fucking zoomed in on the ball. Okay. Right. Well, it's not where it finishes. It's where it crosses the plate. I get it. I do. And unless we have another angle in slow motion that says it dropped right behind the plate, right into the catcher's glove, whatever. It, as far as I can tell, that's a terrible, terrible call, and it should have been a ball. And USA got away with them. Not then. Some people are like, "This is fixed. It was rigged from the beginning." Okay, USA has to win. Blame Donald Trump. I blame him. No, come on. It's not political driven. Shut up. God. You guys realize how dumb you sound when you say stuff like that. Oh, the NFL's rigged. You know, they go out there. They know who's going to win. They do. Say that to a player that has injured their body from day one playing football. You guys sound like fucking idiots, and they will crush your face. They will. They will. I've seen the anger in the eyes of my former colleague, Mark Schlereth, when somebody has said deadpan that the NFL is a rigged sport. He's like, are you fucking stupid? It is the most moronic thing. Now, that being said, the referees might, maybe have a little lining in their pocket. A couple Benjamins in there or whatever, Andrew Jacksons, I don't know, maybe some George Washingtons, I don't know. Lining their pocket based off of the outcome, point spreads, all that shit. But the players, they're not in on it. They're not. And looking at this game, USA and Dominican Republic, that's just a bad call. It's one of those things. We've talked about it. Being an umpire is a very difficult gig. It is so, I can't imagine being an umpire. And just standing behind home plate, behind a backstop, even in Little League Baseball, it's difficult at times. And you're going to make mistakes. You're a human being, some more than others. And if a league can afford ABS, do it. Do it. It's going to make the game less cunty. Is cunty a word? I know. This doesn't count as the C word alert, does it? If I were to say cunt, then it would, fire off the C word alert.
C word alert. C word alert.
Right. See, yeah, cunty is fine. Cunty is fine. Because it's not going to cause as many arguments. You can't argue with technology. It's going to hunt you down, and AI is going to ruin your life if you do. Okay? Right? We know the machines will take over. And the first people to go are the people that go against ABS. It's written on the wall, folks. It is.
It's science.
But if you're a league that can afford ABS, you got to go with it. This is a great example. World Baseball Classic, you have to have ABS installed. You have to. MLB is going to be using it all season. It seems like it's paying off in spring ball. But this is what you get. You get human error. And that was a shitty fucking call. Do I think he did it on purpose, the umpire? I don't think so. I don't. It's one of those ones where Also, when you look at it, the catcher frames it, which when you have ABS, that's one of those things where framing is irrelevant, especially once ABS takes over more control over umping a game. So the catcher frames it. It was one that was somewhat close anyway, to the point where you could have justified, because it sunk, you could have justified the batter taking a good hearty swing at it. I mean, like, it's close enough, Jesus. But it was a good sinker, and the guy frames it, and yeah, it happens so fucking quick. It's a bad call. This was interesting. I got a couple people sending me this. One, I believe, was Rob on Facebook, and then Dan Jacobs, who is a lawyer, a judge, and a talk show host, sent me this via text. And he's like, "What? Are you retiring?" LOL, right? This is the headline on ESPN. It says, Greenlaw returns to 49ers as DeHuff retires. Obviously, they're saying defensive end Huff retires. Who are they talking about? Bryce Huff announced he's retiring. He's like 27 years old. He's made his money. He's done some things. He's achieved some greatness. And this is what's cool. He's retiring, and he said that he's starting a company called Neighborstone, which will build safety infrastructure to help with fire risk on lithium-ion batteries. Good for him. Bad that I'm not retiring, but good for him. Good for him. I like to see that. He doesn't need to continue playing football. He's made millions. He has. So why keep doing something that's going to damage your body, keep you away from your family, your loved ones, your friends, when you could take that money that you've earned, invest it into something that is going to help potentially, millions and millions of people. Good for him. I like that. What a amazing human being. Way to go, Bryce Huff. This came in right before I started recording today. The New York Jets are finalizing a deal that will send Justin Fields, their former quarterback, because they just brought in Geno Smith. They're sending Justin Fields to the Kansas City Chiefs. That's pending a physical, as long as it's not like Max Crosby, and maybe if it's not the Ravens and Cowboys doctor allegedly in cahoots. I think that he'll end up finalizing the deal to go to the Chiefs. Other teams were interested in Fields, according to Adam Schefter, but Fields preferred to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. Smart move on his part. The Chiefs will take on $3 million of the $10 million Justin Fields was guaranteed in 2026. That's according to sources. So the Jets effectively offset both the cash and pick they gave up to get new starter Geno Smith by moving last year's starter. Fascinating. Good move by the Jets. By the way, this is fascinating too. Justin Fields will now be on his fourth team in 4 years. Started with the Bears in 2023, then with the Steelers, then with the Jets, now with the Chiefs. And this will be the first time in that span that he's been with an offensive-minded head coach. I like the move for both teams. Not a fan of the Chiefs, but it makes sense, especially with Patrick Mahomes going out with that nasty injury mid-season, and their season just went down the crapper. I mean, Justin Fields is good enough where he can go in there and lead that team to victory. When you got Andy Reid at the helm, yeah, good move for the Chiefs. And, I don't see Mahomes retiring anytime soon, but you never know. You never know. Would he be a good, transition piece? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Like I said, this is the first time he's been on a professional team with an offensive-minded coach. This could be wonderful for Justin Fields. But I like it. I like it. It makes sense. It's neat when two teams that are involved in the trade, they both make you can look at them both and say they made a smart move. So good for them. Hey, real quick, speaking of a smart move, if you need roof repairs or you need somebody to come out and check your roof, you need to go with the GOAT. You need to go with Roof Goat USA. They've been in business for a long freaking time, well over 24 years. They understand the headaches that comes with fixing a roof, whether it's a repair, replacement, insurance claims. Insurance isn't always going to back you up. They know how to deal with all this stuff, okay? They do. That's why they're the GOAT. They're Roof Goat USA. Go to roofgoatusa.com right now and sign up for a free evaluation. They'll come out to your house. Listen, they're local. They're out here in Colorado. They're out in Michigan, okay? So if you're listening in one of those areas, you know that they're not just in here because maybe there was a storm and then next thing you know, they're gone, okay? These guys are locked into the community. They know what's going on. So you got to go with the GOAT. It's the smart choice. Roof Goat USA guarantees their work. They put a 30-year coverage from install date. That's all materials and labor, 30 years from date of install. That's the Roof Goat USA guarantee. So for all your roofing needs, contact the GOAT. Go to roofgoatusa.com. Again, roofgoatusa.com and sign up for that free evaluation. It's Roof Goat USA. Go ahead, experience the Roof Goat USA difference today. Did you see the Big 12? They had those glass LED floors. Really cool. Really freaking cool. Where it had they could basically project any sort of image onto the floor. Really neat. But they had to get rid of it because everybody was slipping all over the place. It was a little too slick. Also, here's the first thing I saw. That's neat. Before people were slipping on it, I was like, that's neat. Then they played a couple of games and they're like, okay, we got to go back to the regular hardwood. So since it was basically like a TV, I was thinking that's cool and all, but wait till somebody hacks it. And next thing you know, it's in the middle of the game, and then, they're playing something inappropriate on the floor. Like the Booty Bunch, Scotty. Booty Bunch 1 and Booty Bunch 3 are my favorites. Not 2. I feel like they try too hard in that one. Connery? No. No. That's your only contribution to the show so far, is talking about the Booty Bunch. I assume that is a franchise in the adult films. Sure it is, Scotty. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. It probably is. Probably is. I like the idea of it as far as not the Booty Bunch, but the LED floor. I think that's a neat idea, but they got to obviously work on the actual surface and make it a little bit more, like a wood floor, so people aren't slipping and sliding. And because the last thing you want is somebody to get hurt on that shit. Speaking of college basketball, the NCAA bracket is out. I went through it. It was funny because I'm terrible at picking a bracket, and I've always been somebody that I usually just try to go through it as quick as possible and time myself, and then if you're part of a group that is whether you're betting money or just having it fun, I just like, if I could say I made all my picks under 60 seconds and I still did well. I mean, like that's I think is hilarious. It's funny. But then I was thinking, what other ways can you try to pick your teams? Because I've always thought it's funny when people spend days just filling out the bracket, over analyzing this offense versus this defense and vice versa type of thing, and really putting extra thought in there. And their brackets busted by, the weekend. So I said, what other ways can we do this? What if the mascots fought? Who wins? What if the mascots are drunk? Does that, they're behind a Waffle House at like 2 a.m.? Okay, who survives? Okay, I don't know. But then you look at that, and here's some random names: Hurricanes, Devils, Tigers, Spartans. Well, nothing can beat a hurricane, not even a tiger or a Spartan. I guess maybe the Devil, right? Maybe. So then it'd be between the Devil and Hurricanes, and then you'd be like, oh, I guess evil conquers a hurricane? I don't know. So I don't know if I like that one, but I think it can work for some situations. Best colors, I've seen people do that. Oh, I like that one. Those are adorable. Look at that combination. Carol from the front desk. I've seen that a couple times where somebody that is just like, I got $5, I'll put it into the pool. And they know jack squat shit about college basketball like me, and they end up winning. Then I thought of this. Which mascot would taste better? Oh, Scott. I think I'm onto something. Now, I did submit a bracket via ESPN with this mindset. I'm going to go through some of them. Like the Blue Devils versus the Siena Saints. I didn't realize the Siena Saints were actually for the St. Bernard. St. Bernard is their mascot. What's going to taste better, a dog or a devil? I know it sounds disgusting, but I'm going with the dog. St. Bernard's, Siena beats the Duke Blue Devils. Ohio State Buckeyes versus the Horned Frogs of TCU. Okay, this one's interesting. I looked at it like this. The Buckeyes, I'm thinking maybe it's not the whatever, weed or whatever the fuck the Buckeye is. I'm thinking of the peanut butter and chocolate candy. So I'm going with candy over the Horned Frogs, because who the fuck wants to eat a frog? I've ate one once, wasn't special at all. Not enough meat on it. And you know me, I like the meat. Then you got St. John's, the Thunderbird, taking on Northern Iowa Panthers. Okay, what do you like, a panther or a bird? You got to go with a bird. You don't want to eat a fucking cat, you sick bastard. Okay? California Baptist Lancers versus the Kansas Jayhawks. Okay, we're going with the Jayhawks. Pretty simple. South Florida Bulls versus the Louisville Cardinals. Okay, you're going with the Bulls. Then you got North Dakota State Bison versus Michigan State Spartans. I am not a cannibal. Not a cannibal. We're going with the Bison. Or excuse me, Bison, as they say it up there. UFC Knights versus the UCLA Bruins. You're going with a bear, okay? That's the Bruins. Again, not a cannibal. The Furman Paladins, which is a holy warrior, versus the Yukon Huskies. Okay? Pretty simple. We're going with the Huskies. I'd rather eat that than a human. Especially a holy warrior. I feel like that's an automatic ticket punch to hell. Then you got the Long Island University Sharks versus the Arizona Wildcats. I'm going with Sharks over a cat. Then you got the Utah State Aggies versus Wildcats. You're going with the Wildcats, obviously. Then you got High Point Panthers versus the Badgers. I'm going with the Badgers. I'm tired of eating cat. Hawaii Rainbow Warriors versus the Arkansas Razorbacks. I'm going with pig every day of the week, okay? Then you got the Kennesaw State Owls versus the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Oh, what is it? Oh my God. With a shocker, we got the Owls taking over the Bulldogs. I like it. Missouri Tigers versus the Hurricanes. You can't eat a storm. You can't. So you're going with the Tigers. You got the Queen's University Royals, which their mascot is Rex the Lion, versus the Purdue Boilermakers. No, I'm not. God damn it, guys. Anybody that picks the Boilermakers, you should be locked up because you're a cannibal. Okay? You're going with a lion. Here's something to kind of influence my thought process on this. Last year, Florida Gators won. I've had Gator before. Delicious. I didn't do all the picks, by the way. Then you got Huskies, Jayhawks, Bears, and then COVID. Okay? There you go. Guys, it makes sense. It doesn't. The more I start going through it, and I'm like, oh, this is dumb. There's no good way unless you change it up. Like you go first round, animals that I'd rather eat or things I'd rather eat. And then the next one is pretty colors. And then you go, next one is who would win in a bar fight or something like that. Maybe you do it that way. Otherwise, you're going to be taking some long shots. Like, wow, apparently the number 16 seed wins it all. Oh, wow. No, I don't think so. I think I did end up going with the Razorbacks to win it all in my ESPN bracket, the one that I submitted. Who knows? It's such a crapshoot. Such a crap. You're going to, by the way, if you're a company that, especially like if you're somebody that runs a business where people are in cubicles, production's going to be down the next few weeks because everybody, especially on Thursday, Friday, they're going to be doing jack shit. Instead of working, they're going to be watching the games, whether it's on their phone or if there's a TV in the office, whatever. They're not going to be very productive. So be ready for that one. Also, be ready to put your junk in our trunk. Storms Bros Junk Removal. If your home, garage, office, or yard is looking like a disaster zone, we just cleaned up ours, but oh my goodness gracious, it gets crazy. It does. You need to contact Storms Bros Junk Removal right now. They can help clear up the mess. That's what they do. And listen, I get it. It does pile up very quick. And sometimes you just don't realize it until it's spring cleaning or, you just bought something new and you're trying to move it into your house and you're like, well, we need to clear out this. And they're like, oh no, we got too much stuff. Well, that's why you call Storms Bros Junk Removal. They can help get rid of all kinds of things, whether it's couches, sofas, futons, mattresses, box springs, appliances, electronics. They can do it all. Maybe you have a construction site. You need help clearing that up. That's what they can do. They can do that as well. Maybe yard waste. Storms Bros Junk Removal can do it all. They're the best. Go to stormsbrothersjunk.com right now. Get a free quote. That's stormsbrothersjunk.com. Or you can just give them a call. 303-736-9404. Again, 303-736-9404. It's Storms Bros Junk Removal. Put your junk in our trunk. Scotty, I'm a little disappointed that you didn't screw that one up. Yeah, the whole time I'm like, don't mess it up. Do not mess this up. And then, boom, made it through. Yes, it's very disappointing. I couldn't make fun of you. Whatever. Thanks, I guess. Guys, let's do this. Let's jump into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
3 years ago on this show, we brought this story up. Curtis Lee Daniels was arrested for violating violating what now, Scotty? No, a fishing tournament. Don't cut me off, Connery. I thought he was violating fish. That would be disgusting, but please go ahead, continue. Anyway, the guy was arrested for violating fishing tournament law after organizers found weights in his largemouth bass. I feel like that's a joke just waiting to happen, but please continue. Thank you. Thanks, buddy. Now get this. The guy could be facing 10 years in prison. Holy cow. I looked up the video again of him getting caught. And they're slicing open his catches. And basically what the guy would do, he catches a fish, then he'd put like a weight in there, like a fishing weight. Or there's one where they they open one up and it was like a walleye fillet that he had shoved in there. Now he could be going to prison. So what do I use AI for? I said, hey, let's find some prison nicknames for this guy. Because that's what AI was made for, okay? Jeez, guys. If you have some prison nicknames for this guy, please let me know. Go ahead, comment wherever you're consuming this, and I'll add those in at a later date. Prison nicknames for the guy that could go to prison for stuffing his... By the way, this guy won thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars over the years. And good chance is he was cheating every single time. There's the Bass Bandit. Okay. The Sinker Stuffer. Sinker Stuffer. Sounds a little erotic, but I don't think that's over the line. Bass Hole. Maybe. Bass Pounder. Yes, that's a great prison nickname for him because he's going to get his bass pounded. And the best one. I don't know if you guys can top this, but please feel free to do it at DeHuff Podcast or comment below. The Chum Guzzler. That's disgusting, but I like it. I do. Don't get caught. Don't cheat. How about that? You either win or you lose. And I get it. The guy was consumed by greed because each tournament you can win. I want to say it's like at least $10,000 for the one that he specifically got caught for, but they don't know how many times that he had cheated. They can't verify those. But imagine being somebody that came in second to this guy and you didn't get nearly enough money and you've been doing it right. You know, maybe second place, you went three grand, he gets 10. Motherfucker's been cheating the entire time. You're like, wow, man, I could have used that money. What a piece of shit, dude. Come on. It's fishing. Quit fucking cheating. Man, what a dick. Oh, he's going to get... Oh, in the video I found, it's just a bunch of chaos, but they're just like, you fucking piece of shit. How long have you fucking been doing this? He's been doing it for years. Oh, I'd be furious. Come on, man. Don't cheat. Don't cheat. You either win with grace or you lose with grace. Don't be a cheater because that's all the guy knows. He probably started off doing it once and it was like, well, might as well do it again because next time I compete, it's going to be, you know, eventually the truth is going to come out. So we might as well just keep doing it. I don't know. What an idiot. What the good old Chum Guzzler. Chum Guzzler coming down. Sound like sea. Chum Guzzler. Cum Guzzler. Oh, wait, no, Chum. Sorry. Good stuff. Well, I'm going to go spray Bactine on my leg. See how that goes. I might pee myself. Like I said, it's one of those things where it's like the very top layer. It's not a deep, terrible cut. It's just enough to sting. Oh my God! I told my wife, I went home and I was just like, this is all Coach Carl's fault. Like, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to. He's like, you either slide or get the heck off out of here. He did not say that. He did not. Anyway, thank you guys so much. That's it from the Storms Bros Junk Removal Studios. Again, check them out at stormsbrothersjunk.com. Amazing people that you're going to love working with. Also, big thanks for you guys watching and supporting the show. And, of course, to Roof Goat USA. Go to roofgoatusa.com and get that free evaluation. You guys are amazing. Have a wonderful day. Let's keep moving forward. I'll talk to you next time.